All right, guys, we are back for another UFC prediction show. We got a fight night, Diaz Maynard. I like it. Other fights, not so much. I don't know. You know, it's a UFC fight card. I've been more excited about other cards. This one's decent. I'm going to watch it, but let's get right down to it. Amir Sadollah taking on Brad Blackburn. Matt, who's going to win and why?
I'm going to give this one to Amir. I was really impressed in his last fight, but I think we're going to see Amir put this guy away with the knee this time. He's going to end this fight. He's going to put a stamp on him.
Okay.
Maybe, 3 minutes into the fight.
Really?
Sure,
That is like one of the most specific predictions I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, Jared, are you going to really nail it down that close? Or?
No, not really. I think if Amir wants to end this fight, he'll do it before the third round for sure. I think if it goes to the third round, it's probably going to be a decision, which I think it's going to be. I don't know a lot about Blackburn, but Amir, the only power that he really has is in his knees. So I don't think he's going to connect cleanly with any of them. Decision.
Decision, nice. I'm actually going to agree with Jared on this one. I'm going to take Amir Sadollah decision. Yeah, I was really impressed in his last fight. I was kind of surprised that as gas as Baroni was that he couldn't finish him, but I guess Baroni has a pretty decent chin. He's been around for a while. So I think Amir's back. I think he's going to rattle off a few wins. This one starting with his second. He's going to finish Brad decision. Next up, we got Tom Lawlor taking on Aaron Simpson. Now, this should be a pretty good fight. I actually didn't think Tom Lawlor had done that well in the UFC. I thought he was 1-1, but you reminded me that Tom Lawlor is actually a little underrated. He has won both of his fights. It was on the show that he actually got beat around quite a bit, and that was against who?
Ryan Bader.
Yeah. Ryan Bader, who ended up winning the whole freaking show. So, we'll let that one slide. He is taking on Aaron Simpson, who's a really good fighter. I was really impressed in his last fight against Ed Herman.
Yeah.
He made Ed Herman look like a chump.
He did.
And, there was an injury that happened there. I'm not sure if that was, sustained during the fight or whether he had that coming in. I don't know. Ed Herman's a pretty tough guy, so he probably wouldn't have pulled out of the fight even if he had an injured knee. But Aaron Simpson is no joke, man. His last 3 fights have been either KO or TKO. I think he's going to keep that streak alive, going for another TKO, taking Tom Lawlor out in the second round. Jared, what do you think?
Hey, well, the thing that I'm really surprised about Aaron Simpson is that his striking is really good.
Yes.
He's actually a wrestler, and his striking is like way up there. I think he's going to come out in this fight early, really early, first round early, and get a KO.
Nice.
Wow. All right. I like it. Matt, what do you think?
I don't think it's going to happen either way. No. Okay. I really do like Aaron Simpson. He's impressed me. He kind of came out of nowhere for me. I wasn't really paying attention to him. But yeah, his fight against Ed Herman was really good. I don't think he's going to finish the filthy mauler. I mean, how can you finish a guy with that name? Right? Yeah,
I'm going to give guard and throw it right.
I'm going to give this one to Simpson. I don't think he's going to be able to finish him, but I think he's going to dominate the fight, but he's going to get the decision.
Guess what, guys?
What?
Efrain Escudero is getting a co-main event. They must really like this guy. He's taking on Evan Dunham, who I'm very impressed with. The guy's rattled off a few very impressive wins in UFC. Efrain coming off that really amazing knockout of Cole Miller. I mean, I think Cole Miller was obviously, impressed. He was on the ground. But friggin' Efrain was more impressed and surprised that he did that. He was like looking at his fist like, did I just do that? I believe that was his first knockout on his record. He hasn't lost. I think that might change on this one. Jared, we got the little board back there with Josh's picks. What does it say for that for this particular fight?
Efrain Deck.
Deck, or DEC period, abbreviation for you newbies out there. Decision Efrain. I'm switching it up. This is Josh's upset pick of the card. I'm taking Evan Dunham.
Nice.
Surprise TKO in the third round. Look out. You ready for it?
Nice.
What do you think?
I like it. I hope it happens.
You don't like Efrain?
No, not really.
Well, tell me why.
I just don't.
Okay, well, is he going to win?
I think so.
Okay, tell me.
Unfortunately, he impressed me big time against Skull. I didn't know he had that kind of power. Obviously,
he didn't either.
He didn't know he had that kind of power. And I just see him catching Dunham. I mean, that was a huge shot. And so I'm going to give it to Efrain. KO. I don't think he's actually going to be winning the fight. I think second round, he's going to pull it out of his butt.
Wow, all right. So are we going to go Efrain Deck?
I'm going Efrain Deck.
Okay. Tell me why. I want to hear why.
Got some good stand-up. Efrain obviously been working on boxing.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to really compare to Evan Dunham. But, yeah, the thing about Efrain is that he has the takedowns.
Yes.
He can take him down.
He falls back on his wrestling.
I think it's either going to be a decision or submission, but I'm leaning towards decision. So, Decision.
All right, let's talk about the main event, the only reason for watching this freaking card. Gray Maynard taking on Nate Diaz. Now, let me approach it from this angle, and you guys feel free to, agree, disagree. Nate Diaz is awesome when he's not taking on wrestlers.
Agree.
Agree? Mm-hmm. This one, to me, I don't know, man. I think it spells trouble for Nate Diaz. I think it's going to go to decision, and I think Gray Maynard's going to win, as he usually does. His typical decision. Probably why he hasn't got a title shot.
But why he hasn't lost.
True, exactly. You can't really fault the guy for that. He is definitely getting the W's. Nate Diaz is going to survive, but he just gets overpowered. If you watch him against Clay Guida, and you watch him against, who else did he fight?
Stevenson.
Yeah, Joe Daddy, man. It just... Diaz is a kind of a small guy. You know what I mean? He's skinny. In fact, when we did that, which MMA fighter would you be? I picked him because he's bony and he's got the nipple on a rib thing. But, he's amazing jiu-jitsu, rolls out of stuff, but when you just get a hold of him and, you beat him up on the ground, your power is going to come into effect, and that's going to change it up for Nate. And Gray Maynard, that's his deal. I know he's working on his strike, and he looked pretty decent against Roger Huerta, but he's going to pretty much just cancel out Diaz's stand-up and jiu-jitsu skills with his just wrestling power. What do you think? I know you've met the guy. Tell us.
Yeah.
You're an expert about this guy.
Not really.
Okay.
No, I like Gray Maynard. Nate, not so good against wrestlers, but I was actually going to take Maynard decision, but I was just thinking about it. I don't really want to root for him for a decision.
Okay.
I want to root for him for a second-round TKO.
Nice.
He's been working on his hands, and Nate, I'm not so sure if he can take a lot of punches, so I don't think he's going to get knocked out, but I definitely think he might get a referee stoppage in this one.
Man, we're agreeing way too much. Let's keep it going, Matt.
This is creepy. Well, I'm going to agree with you guys.
Yes!
But which one of you am I going to agree with?
Oh, that's true.
I was leaning towards decision. I'm not going to lie. Wrestling's about control. Maynard, great wrestler. Diaz, not so good against it. But Maynard has so much control. I think it's really going to be able to loosen him up while he's there. He's not going to get too loose. Doesn't want to get caught in a submission. But I'm going to give him the ground and pound TKO in this fight.
Really?
Yeah.
Basically, we have to see what happened because, Diaz looked really good against Gallard, but that was more of a stand-up battle than anything.
Yeah.
And, when he lost against Joe Daddy, maybe he went back to, worked on the wrestling, got Cesar Gracie and said, hey, enough jiu-jitsu. Let's go wrestling and see what happens.
Yeah.
So he could surprise us all, but we're saying Maynard. Thank you guys very much for watching another one of our videos. We really agreed a lot lately.
Yeah.
This kind of sucks. We need to start disagreeing so we can have some more bets.
I gotta start calling with my heart, dude. Forget this gut stuff. Efrain, you're gonna lose. Changed it right here. Evan Dunham knockout first round.
Wow. How you like them apples? Well, that is it for us, guys. You heard what we have to say. We want to hear what you have to say. Put in your comments and predictions below, and when the fights are all over, we'll see who was right, who was wrong. We were right. That's it. I'm Josh Osborne.
Matt McCarty.
Jared McCarty.
And as always, we will catch you on the flip side.